Hey, so I want to talk to you about the concept of document, don't create today. Now, Gary Vee, I think, is the person who coined that term, or he says it a lot. And so he's one of the greatest, content creators online at the moment. And if you're a web designer, I want to tell you that one of the best things you can do to nurture and build trust with your prospects out there who could become your clients is to create content that wins them over. And so I do this in my business and I create lots of content, but you've got to create content with purpose. And so I don't just create content that I create for the sake of creating content and just putting content out there. Now, I create content that I can use in my sales funnel or my follow-up process to actually nurture a prospect. And so it's very powerful because many of my clients or prospects that book an appointment in my calendar to speak to me, I don't know who they are. But what they have done is they've consumed some of my content online, whether that's LinkedIn or Facebook or my Facebook group or my email list that I send out content on a regular basis to them to educate. And then every piece of content asks them to book an appointment, and many do. And so I believe in creating content. But the problem with creating content, I know a lot of you are probably going to say, is that what do I create content on? I have 5 good ideas and then I don't know what to do after that. Well, the concept of document, don't create is what will save you, and it's what saved me. And so I'm a little bit of an extremist, right? Because I have a coaching program and I do lots of tests, and then what works, I give to my students. So I create a video every single day, and I create that video, I go live in Facebook, and then I can repurpose that content and put it on LinkedIn, put it on my blog, put it on YouTube. I just put it everywhere, okay? And so when you're creating a video a day, you can run out of content pretty fast. After 5 days, 10 days, hey, even if you last 30 days, at some point you're going to run out of ideas. And so the way I don't run out of ideas is I don't try and create content. I just document the process of running my business. And so when I come up with a good idea or I see something or I like something, I write it down, and that's what I create content on. Now, you've got to make sure that the content you create is relevant to your prospect and will move them to actually booking an appointment with you. So these are the ways that I create content. So the first one is any sales meeting. So if I'm in a sales meeting, typically a client will have lots of questions, questions they will ask me that need answered. And so what I do is I write those questions down. I then create a video on each of those questions. And so that is an amazing source, which is almost endless because every client has different questions. And so if you document that question in a video or a blog post, then you can use that in your sales funnel, in your marketing. The next thing I do is projects. So the client projects I work on as a web designer, we do cool stuff. We do stuff that's difficult. We do stuff that is fun. We do stuff that is interesting. And the ones that are relevant to my prospects, I will document that. I will create a video on it. I will explain it. And I will then push that out. And I'll use it in my sales funnel, whether it's an email I send out or a YouTube video or a blog post. And so that's where I get a lot of my ideas from actual projects. The other one is just through my business. Okay, so the beautiful thing about being a web designer is whenever you want to grow your business, it's highly relevant to your client businesses as well. So when I run a Facebook ads campaign for my business, my clients want to know about that. It's quite relevant to them. When I create video content, my clients are interested in that. When I do social media or I do email marketing or I write a new landing page or a new email copy, my clients are interested in that. So it's an amazing source of content when you do your own marketing. Now, if you're not doing marketing yourself, shame on you, right? You should be. How can you claim to be a marketer and building websites that generates leads and you actually don't do anything yourself? Okay, I shouldn't have said that, but it's food for thought, okay? That I'm constantly trying new techniques and I'm constantly doing marketing and I just document the whole process. And so I create a video on my Facebook ads campaign. I create a video on how I record videos. I create a video on how I update the website. And so that is a very rich source of content for me. When I'm documenting, I'm not creating. I'm not trying to be artistic and come up with ideas. I'm just documenting the process of running my business. And the last one is through any research that I do. So research is really friends that I speak to with good ideas. Now, I have a coaching group, so any great ideas in that coaching group, I create content on. So I know you guys may not have a coaching group, you just got a web design business. I have both. And so that gives me a lot of ideas. And so you may have friends in the industry or associates that give you a new app or a new tool that you can use. And what you do is you create content on that if you try it out and if you use it. So I want to encourage you that if you really believe that content, and you should believe it because it's been proven now, that content is really important to your marketing in 2021, then you should have the idea or the concept, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's have the perspective of documenting, not creating. It just releases you. It creates a lot more ideas that you can create content on. And so that has really enabled me. You know, I just had a look over the last 51 days. I have created 47 videos, and that's pretty huge, right? And I'm still, I'll go for another 51 days. I have no problem with coming up with ideas, and the reason is I'm not actually being creative when I'm doing this. I'm not actually coming up with great ideas. All I'm doing is documenting the way I run my business. And when I document how I run my business, it actually helps a lot of people. And it actually makes me very attractive to people, because the other thing as a web designer is most people keep this to themselves. They say, I don't want to share anything because they have a there's not enough mentality, right? They have they don't have an abundance mentality. And I have an abundance mentality. I know that the more you give, the more you receive. And creating content is a great way to give. And, you know, I was on a call this morning with a potential prospect. It wasn't really a prospect. It was someone who is doing something very similar to me in my web design business. And he's basically a competitor. And I said, jump on a call, I'll help you out. And I just gave him value for 20 minutes. He asked me all these questions about how I run my business. I just gave it to him, right? I just told him. And I held nothing back. And by the end of the call, he asked me. Now, I actually, when I was talking to him, I actually put in quite a few different just points about my coaching program, because he's a web designer. I gave him lots of value, gave him, you know, opened the keys to the chest. I gave him the keys to the chest and opened the chest up and showed it to him. But then I would hint in, you know, I have this coaching program. This is what I teach this, I teach that. And at the end of it, in the last 2 minutes of a half an hour conversation, he said, so tell me about your coaching program. And I was happy to jump off that call and just let it go and just add value to someone. And I was excited because we're very similar. And at the end of the last 2 minutes, as time was slipping away, I had to go to another call. He asked me, and we're booking in another call for me to talk to him about my coaching program. Okay, but that was not the intention. It was, my intention on that call was just give as much as I can, and you never know. And the you never know happened. He asked, and so I really feel that giving, when it comes to content and giving your best stuff away, is really important as a web designer, because clients can't do it. And don't worry about competitors, right? Competitors, can I just tell you about competitors? They don't think you're as smart as they are. So when they see your ideas, they're not going to do it. They're too busy doing their own ideas. And so people are so busy trying to keep up with their own business to copy you. They may want to copy you, but they probably don't even have the time to. So don't worry about competitors. I give everything away for me. All my competitors see it. In my whole business, you can see it online, and I explain it, my sales-driven website business. And I give it away because I know most people won't do it, because it's hard. It's hard to do all this stuff, and people are busy. Okay, so that's my little advice to you about content. So I want to encourage you to document, don't create content, and start making that content. See if you can beat me. 47 videos in 51 days. All right, speak to you soon. Bye.